For decades, Cliff Richard was seen as the bright, smiling face of British pop music, a figure whose charm and voice defined generations. Behind the dazzling performances and chart-topping hits, however, lay a life far more complex than most fans realised. Private heartbreak, unfulfilled love, and public betrayal shadowed his career. This is a journey through the life of a man who seemed untouchable, but faced profound trials. From his early years in India to the heights of stardom in Britain, and the personal and public challenges that shaped him into a living legend. Early life in India and Britain. Cliff Richard was born Harry Roger Webb in Lucknow, India, during the final years of British rule. His earliest memories were of warmth, comfort, and a sun-drenched childhood, surrounded by family. But the political unrest leading up to Indian independence forced the family to leave, travelling by crowded ship to a war-scarred England. They arrived in a country still rationing food, struggling to rebuild. Life in Hertfordshire was starkly different from India, shaping young Harry's resilience. These early contrasts between comfort and hardship sparked a fierce determination to succeed, and music became his refuge, a doorway to a life beyond post-war austerity. Discovering rock and roll in his teens, Harry Webb encountered the electrifying sounds of American rock and roll. The raw energy of Elvis Presley and Little Richard ignited a spark in him. Rather than trying to blend in with post-war England, he dreamed of standing out. By the late 1950s, he shed his birth name and became Cliff Richard, a moniker reflecting strength, confidence, and homage to his musical idols. Forming a backing band initially called The Drifters, later The Shadows, he recorded a debut single, Move It. Its rebellious edge contrasted sharply with polite pop, and almost overnight, Cliff Richard became Britain's first true rock and roll star, captivating a generation. Teenage hysteria and national fame. The reaction to Cliff Richard was unprecedented. Fans fainted and screamed, echoing the hysteria surrounding Elvis in America. Overnight, he transformed from a rising singer to the face of a cultural shift in Britain. He introduced a sound that felt dangerous, thrilling, and new. With The Shadows, he dominated charts and stages, performing before adoring crowds. Unlike other teen idols, Cliff's charm was combined with discipline and poise, making him approachable yet aspirational. He became not only a music icon, but a symbol of British youth entering a modern era, where rebellion, excitement, and style blended seamlessly with national pride and the promise of post-war optimism. A public declaration of faith. At the height of his fame in the 1960s, Cliff made a decision that stunned the public. He attended a massive Billy Graham evangelistic rally and publicly declared himself a Christian. It wasn't private or quiet, it was broadcast to the nation. Fans and industry insiders feared the declaration would end his career. Record executives whispered that his days as a pop star were over, assuming he would retreat from music entirely. Yet, Cliff chose a different path. He refused to abandon either faith or stage. This bold choice allowed him to merge belief and performance, redefining what it meant to be a British pop star. Personal transformation and confidence. Embracing faith brought a profound personal change. Cliff admitted much of his early stage swagger had been a mask, concealing insecurity and self-doubt. Living openly by his beliefs freed him from the constant pressure to perform a false persona. The result was a new confidence, both on and off stage. But this transformation came with personal sacrifice. The sudden death of his father when he was only 21 forced him into responsibility for his mother and sisters. Later, witnessing his mother's decline into Alzheimer's deepened his sense of duty. Faith sustained him, yet personal happiness was often sidelined in favour of family and career. Heartbreak and lost love. Romantic life proved complicated for Cliff Richard. One of the most poignant stories involved Olivia Newton-John, whom he invited onto his television show in the early 1970s. Their musical chemistry was undeniable, and their friendship blossomed into a deeper affection. But Olivia's heart belonged to Bruce Welch, Cliff's bandmate from The Shadows. Complicated by Bruce's marital status, their 5-year engagement never culminated in marriage. For Cliff, this was a love that never had the chance to flourish. Personal relationships often faltered under the weight of fame, familial duty, and professional obligations, leaving Cliff with the bittersweet reality of sacrifice for both career and family. Chart success across decades. Despite personal setbacks, Cliff's career endured. Against the rise of new British acts, he maintained relevance and audience devotion. One remarkable comeback was The Millennium Prayer, released decades after his first hits. Fans rallied behind him, propelling the single to #1 in the UK for 3 weeks and achieving platinum status in several countries. This success occurred without major promotional campaigns, radio support, or industry backing, demonstrating the loyalty of the public. It proved that Cliff Richard's music transcended generational change, that audiences could champion an artist who had long been overlooked by industry gatekeepers. Honours, legacy, and charity work Cliff. Richard's legacy extends far beyond music. With over 250 million records sold worldwide, multiple UK #1s, and a career spanning more than 6 decades, his influence is unparalleled. Honours include a knighthood and an OBE, recognising not only his artistic contributions but also his charitable efforts. He has raised funds for children's causes, advocated for faith and community, and remained a stable cultural figure amid constant change. His resilience and dedication to principle set him apart, proving that success in music could coexist with integrity, philanthropy, and a steadfast personal identity. The 2014 raid and public betrayal. Even late in life, Cliff faced unimaginable trials. In 2014, police raided his home in Berkshire, broadcasting the event live on television. The allegation involved historic sexual abuse claims from the 1980s during a Billy Graham rally. The story quickly collapsed. Details contradicted reality, witnesses confirmed impossibilities, yet the media spectacle had already inflicted deep harm. Cliff described the ordeal as humiliating and isolating, leaving him anxious and reluctant to leave his home. The experience showed the stark difference between public adoration and institutional failure, revealing the personal cost of sensationalized media coverage on an individual who had given decades of service to entertainment. Legal vindication and press reform. Eventually, prosecutors dropped the case due to insufficient evidence, but Cliff's ordeal was far from over. He sought justice for the violation of his privacy. In 2018, the High Court ruled in his favour, affirming that the BBC and police had unlawfully compromised his rights. He received damages and helped set a precedent for media conduct in unproven allegations. Yet even legal victory could not erase the emotional scars. Cliff admitted he feared public suspicion would linger despite vindication. His career, carefully built over decades, had been overshadowed by one humiliating media moment, a testament to the fragility of reputation, even for those who once seemed untouchable. Resilience through triumph and tragedy. Cliff Richard's life is a study in resilience. From wartime hardship in post-colonial Britain to teenage superstardom, from the private sorrow of lost love to public humiliation, he endured. He navigated fame without compromising faith, sacrificed personal happiness for family and career, and continued performing despite changing tastes and trends. Even the harshest blows, the death of loved ones, a public legal nightmare, and media betrayal, could not extinguish his dedication. His story is a reminder that triumph is not measured solely in records sold or awards won, but in the ability to survive, adapt, and maintain integrity when the world seems determined to see you fail. Conclusion: a legacy of courage. Cliff Richard's journey is one of dazzling highs and painful lows, an extraordinary testament to perseverance. He remains an icon of British music, a man who refused to compromise his beliefs, endured heartbreak, and overcame public betrayal. His story reminds us that fame does not shield one from adversity, and that courage can take many forms, from a public declaration of faith to facing unfounded allegations with dignity. Cliff Richard's life proves that resilience, integrity, and dedication to principle define a legacy far more enduring than chart success, leaving a model of inspiration for generations to come.